Hey guys, John here. Happy Saturday. Today is the recap for the second week of my STRADA Easel 30-day painting challenge. This is where we were left off last week, and now I'm going to jump into the first painting of this most recent week. So for the first day of the week, I've got this little nutcracker. No particular reason. I just thought it was a nice hard surface. I could use some more metal on this, and so that's what I went with. There's a little bit of wood grain on this handle. I kind of tried to get the effect of that, but I wasn't really that concerned with getting it perfectly. At this scale, that kind of detail, you don't really read. So I hinted at it for my sake, but I don't know that it really makes or breaks the whole piece. So it's kind of funny. One of the hardest parts about this is when I'm setting up my reference to do these drawings, I've got to get the shadow going the correct direction because I want everything to look like it's sitting on the same page. And so everything's got this hard shadow off to the left side, and getting that set up every time is honestly harder than making the paintings themselves. Okay, for day two, I've got this little tiny cow skull. I think it's so cool. I love drawing skulls and painting skulls. And this guy is about the same size as the drawing. So I don't know where we got him from, but he's cute. He's just a little guy. So I think it's kind of cool that that we have such a small little skull. So I added him to my page. He's got one of the more complicated shadows of all of the pieces that I have because his horns are in shadow, but since they're off the page, they are not as hard or dark as most of the other shadows in this. And so it was really tricky trying to get that effect where you can tell what this shadow is of without messing up the values. So here we go with the next one. We've got all these little rubber duckies. We don't have a Jeep. Hillary just likes rubber duckies. And we have this cute little unicorn guy that we may have won from like a crane game at the bowling alley, I think. I'm not sure, but I thought he looked cute, or she maybe. And I thought this would be a nice place to put it because it's white. I can actually come in with a white pen later and I can add a highlight to that side that's in the shadow of the golden paint so that this stands out without, having to erase away all of these other things I've already done. I can just mark right on top of it and let this guy stand out. You can see having put that white pen in that it stands out now from the shadow without having to erase away a bunch of stuff. I was so focused on getting this highlight that I almost completely forgot about the shadow. So right at the end here, I put the shadow in. So ever since I've got this new computer, I have been editing my videos on it and working on it and playing on it all the time, and it's really killing my eyes. And so today's painting, I'm making the pair of blue light glasses that I wear when I work on the computer. I've never really worn glasses in my life. My vision's 20/20, and getting used to having glasses on all the time is killing me. However, it really makes a huge difference, so I'll put up with it. But because of that, I decided to do these glasses. So because these are very thin, and obviously the lenses being blue light glasses, or I guess glasses in general, they don't really cast a shadow. So this was kind of hard for me to get the shadows to look good, but it is okay because they end up fine. And I'm going to have some other stuff covering up some of this shadow section, so we're not really going to see a lot of it. So I'm not too worried. Moving on to the next day, and we're right next door to the previous day. We've got this little one up. I don't know where he came from. I don't know uh, why we have him, but he's got a little button, and you press it, and he makes a little one up sound, and I think it's really cute. So I figured I'd add this guy in. He's an easy shape to do, and so I was like, oh yeah, this is perfect. I was a little too wet working with it the first time. I didn't let certain layers dry, so you can see that the green kind of bled through to my main white circle in the middle here. But I'm going to come through with the pen and lighten that up with my white pen, so I think that it's not going to be really an issue. And it also kind of helps anyway. I didn't want it pure white, but having a little bit of green under there kind of makes it look a little rounder, makes it look not pure white. Wanted to deepen this shadow a little bit more, and a great way to make green look darker is to add blue, actually. And so that's what I'm doing here. You can see this really ups the contrast, really darkens the green section. And for our penultimate day this week, I've got this neat little letter opener. It's in the shape of a sword, as you may be able to tell now. You certainly will be able to tell later. I think it looks so cool, and it's also about the same size as the painting of it is. What I think is really cool about this is how much detail they got into the maybe the hand guard. I'm not good with sword anatomy or whatever you call it. So don't quote me on anything, but the little pommel is the bottom, and I think the hand guard is the piece that I'm doing now, the big round piece. They have all this neat engraving on it, which I thought would be a fun challenge to try to get that effect without, really going overkill on it. Just gonna add the shadow in here, and when I'm finished with that, we will jump on to the final day of the week. And naturally, today got off to an awful start. I started painting and then realized that I had not been recording. Oh well, it happens. I caught it early enough that you can still see most of the process. So what this is, it is a lanyard for a set of car keys that my fiance Hillary owns. This lanyard is all decked out in Iowa State all over it. So if you don't know, my fiance is from Iowa, and her whole family, they are Iowa State Cyclone fans. We do not like the Iowa Hawkeyes in this household. So the lettering on the front side, or the red side of this, is yellow, but it's hard to do yellow on top of red. So I tried something new here, which actually ended up working out great, where I came in with my white pen and got everything blocked in that's going to be yellow into white. And then later I'll come in with a yellow colored pencil and color on top of it all, as you can see here. And I think it really gives me exactly what I'm looking for. Everything looks yellow instead of white, and I didn't have to paint around it. So this is awesome for the future. I know that I can do this and it'll actually work. So just like all my other steps, this is the stage where I'm gonna come in and delineate things that need to be delineated and darken shadows and up the contrast essentially. I took a few passes to get the contrast to a level that I was happy with on this one. I want this to really look accurate because this is kind of right in the center of my page, and it's going to be one of the first things you look at because it's so big. So I took my time with this one, making sure to get the contrast looking really nice. So I'm just gonna finalize some details and then we will cut to the glamour shots. So thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning back on week 2 if it is. If you haven't seen week 1, watch that. Don't forget, if you enjoy this kind of stuff, like, subscribe, share with your friends, all of the standard YouTube things. I really appreciate it. It's helping a lot, and I'll see you guys in the next one.